we're going to talk to you about the importance of snapping your punches versus pushing your punches. It's a common mistake when you're just starting out with some heavy bag work to push your punches versus snapping them, mistakenly thinking that pushing and driving that force through is going to create more power and result in a better workout, when actually the opposite is true. You want to think about and learn to snap your punches more like you would when you would be whipping a towel. That's kind of the feeling that you're going for. This is something that's going to take a lot of practice. You're not going to get it right away. So a couple we're going to do to start off is to show you on a heavy bag here what the two look like, what the difference is. And I'll be using my cross to demonstrate this. So when I get in line with the heavy bag and I'm, a little bit further away than my range of contact here, I'm going to be throwing my cross. First thing I'm going to do is push the punch. And this is what we're not looking for you to do. So you're going to stand in your stance, and you'll see a lot of beginners at first push through. So instead of snapping the punch off the bag, they're pushing it. So they're forcing the bag forward by pushing the punch. So again, that does give you some power and force, but it can throw you off balance, and it's just not as effective of a punch. Okay, so when you're wanting to snap a punch, a couple of things are important. And you want to think about pulling that punch off the bag as soon as you've driven through just a little bit. So we're not forcing the bag forward. We're slightly punching through the target and then pulling the punch right back. So when you snap, the bag is not going to move as much. Okay, so the punch is a little quicker speed, and again, it's going to pull right back. So I'm not driving and thrusting my weight through the punch and driving the power through. I'm going to pull the punch off. So a couple things that will help you to do this is, again, like I said, your technique. So if we're talking about the cross or any straight punch for that matter, it's going to be turning the punch over at the last minute. So my fist is starting off vertical, and just seconds before it makes contact, it is going to turn over with the palm face down. So again, the fist is vertical, right before it's at full extension, it turns over. So that's where that snapping motion and feel is going to come from. Another thing is making sure that your body movement is timed with the punch. Okay, so you don't want to open up, cock the arm back, and then throw the punch. You want to make sure that the whole body is moving in time with your punch. Okay, so those are two things to think about. Turning your fist over right at the last second, and making sure that your whole body is timed with your punch. The other thing you can do to help with this initially is pull back on your power. Stop worrying so much about how hard you're hitting the bag. Yes, it's fun to beat the crap out of the bag, but you may get injured if you get a little too overzealous and just want to lay into the bag and throw and push those punches, versus mastering the technique, slowing down a little bit, and working on snapping your punches. So if you can think about almost punching, but probably not as solid of a fist at first. So again, that's why we're wanting you to pull back on the power. So instead of clenching the fist really hard and driving through, in the beginning, keep your fist looser, hit a little bit lighter, and work on snapping those punches. Once you master that technique, then you can start to bring some of that power back and really kind of drive some more force without pushing your punch. So again, a couple things to remember: work on your technique. The better your technique, the more effectively you will snap your punches. Think about, with that technique, turning that punch over at the very last second. Don't turn it over too soon, because then you're going to be driving through and pushing your punch. Making sure your body is timed to land and turn over at the same time as the punch, okay? You don't want the hip to come first or to open up and pull the arm back. And then, again, pulling back on the power a little bit, maybe punching with a little bit not as clenched of a fist, so almost like an open hand. So that's, again, why. Pull back on that power and work on that lighter contact with your punches. So, again, the more you can practice this, stop worrying about hitting so hard, work on snapping your punches, and your boxing skill and the effectiveness of your workout will dramatically improve. So we hope that was helpful, you guys, when it comes to getting better and better at your boxing workout, and we will see you guys next week. Stay classy, knockouts.
And thanks for stopping by.